Okay, so it's a heat wave, so I thought we'd do Heatwave. Okay, standard tuning. The first chord, so the main part has just 4 chords. E minor, D, C, G, and then it goes C, G, D. The E minor, you could play a regular E minor, but it's this E minor. So it's first finger on the 5th fret of the D string, third finger on the 7th fret of the low E string, and pinky on the 7th fret of the A. Okay, first finger on the 5th of the D, third finger on the 7th of the E, pinky on the 7th of the A. Throughout this thing, you're not really ever going to play the high E string. Just to watch out for that. You could. Second chord D is this kind of D. So this is like a C that's moved up 2 frets. So it has this open G, which doesn't technically belong in a D chord, but it sounds nice. Okay, so first finger on the 3rd fret of the B, second finger on the 4th fret of the D, third finger on the 5th fret of the low E, pinky on the 5th fret of the A. And then you get to just take this shape down. Again, don't play the high E string. I sort of have my first finger leaning over to mute it. Then it goes down to C. Same shape. First finger on the 1st fret of the B, second finger on the 2nd fret of the D, third finger on the 3rd fret of the low E, pinky on the 3rd fret of the A. And it goes from this C. Now I couldn't tell if there's totally a system to it. Sometimes it's this C, sometimes it's C major 7. Sometimes the first finger is not there and there's an open B. You can kind of play with it. And that goes to G played like this. So second finger on the 2nd fret of the A and third finger on the 3rd fret of the low E. And notice how that change goes from you're on this chord, your 3rd finger doesn't move, everything else picks up, your 2nd finger moves down to the 2nd fret of the A. And then yeah, just gonna go C to G again, and then up to D. And that's that whole progression. The strumming, you could, if you want to, just strum down, up, down, up, down, up, and then it would sound like this. That would be that, and that'd be totally cool. There's a couple little things to watch out for. You can strum it a little more. You can mix it up between that down, up, and more down, down, down. So it can be like this. Strumming is a tricky thing. I always think, you got to kind of find your own feel that works. But so those are all options. And there's a certain amount of picking that you can get in there, right? So when I get to the D, especially, I tended to do this, which I heard in the part. It's kind of like this little line is in there. Something like that. So you get to this chord and, if you've played like that before, you should know, you should be able to pick it up. That kind of strumming picking pattern stuff where you kind of strum, but then you pick a little bit within your strums, okay? The other thing to watch out for is that there's some anticipations, right? So, and it's not always in the same place. I think it kind of goes with the vocal, right? So it'll be... the difference between 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can sort of listen for those or try to do them when you hear it in the vocal. Another little trick to watch out for is sometimes I think she does this. So when she's on the C or the C major 7, you can pick up the 2nd finger right before you switch to the G. So it becomes dun. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff you could get in there, or you can play it really simply. The first verse and the second verse end a little different. So the first verse ends, and I'll make a little chart, which I'll link to down there. The first verse ends with that's like you go to this C, and now you have this is the only other chord in the song. This is C minor, which is first finger on the first fret of the D, third finger on the third fret of the low E, pinky on the third fret of the A. You don't really want to get the G string is fine. You really don't want to get the B and the high E. And that one kind of gets this like down, 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 down kind of build thing. This and then there's a little like stutter, 3, 4, 1, as you go back into the thing. The second verse ends with, you kind of play each of the chords once. So again, it's C to C minor, but now instead of 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's this. So 2 beats on each. And then there's 2 bars of build on the G, which takes you into the outro, which is C to G to D. That D is always anticipated, so it's like on the upbeat before 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. The first time through, you can do it like palm muted and all downs. You repeat that 3 times. So this is the 3rd time. And then I'm gonna go same thing as the end of the second verse. C for 2 beats, C minor for 2 beats, G. And then same thing again, but now maybe you could strum a little bit more freely. This C, C minor, G thing repeats. Then you do it again. And then the last time you do it, just C, C minor, G. Okay, I hope that made sense. I didn't go too fast. Like I said, I will link to a little chord thing so you have something to follow along with. And let me know if you have any questions, and hope you're staying cool. Okay, thanks.